even Don Lemon was having a problem with it. It's funny, there's this little thing called the internet and this little thing called tape. And what do you know? Don Lemon was bringing up this issue of, is Kamala really African American? Just a few years ago, back in 2019, he kind of went crazy on none other than April Ryan, the same woman that Joy Reid was fighting with, over whether or not you could really call Kamala Harris African American. This is interesting because African American apparently is implying a certain demographic, and it means, you know, you had to have had a certain number of experiences, etc. I'd like to see him debate Joy Reid on this one, because he gets into it with April, saying Kamala's not. Like, there's no way she's African American because she's Indian and Jamaican. Watch it.
She's a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There is a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling. I think you're falling into the trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American." That's it.
Don, I'm not falling in a trap. I'm not falling in. Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not falling into a trap by that. When she goes down her lineage, many Africans landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands. So she could indeed be African American mixed with other races. But she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was born here in America. Okay, well let's go into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
Ted Cruz. This is not about Ted Cruz. You're changing the subject.
But you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you are.
She's a black woman. I don't know what you want.
Cruz.
Okay.
Can I just?
Okay. All right. So Don Lemon says she's not African American. Again, who cares? Who cares? It's just that suddenly she's working this whole angle that she was never working before. I saw a great clip the other day on Twitter. It showed her speaking down south to a bunch of religious people in the South. And all of a sudden she had this full-on accent that we don't hear otherwise. And then, of course, you've seen the video of her going on about how wonderful it is to be Indian. Do we have the Mindy Kaling? Here she is with this actress who's originally from India. And she's celebrating her Indian heritage, which we don't hear about nowadays at all. But back then, apparently, it was in vogue, or she thought so.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
yes,
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
I've
been telling people you're related already, so this is perfect.
Kamala working it when it makes sense for Kamala to work it. And right now, apparently it doesn't make sense. Instead, she's just working the whole I'm a black American thing. And so Donald Trump brings this up. And, you know, look, it's politics. It's fair game. I'm sorry. He's making an observation. I think we also have the clip of him just pointing this out, pointing out the obvious that, you know, suddenly she's become Indian. I mean, forgive me, she's suddenly become black. He kind of always knew her as something else. Let's roll this.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a definition then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she went she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is...
I think somebody should look into that, too, when you ask, continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Listen, first of all, like, it was a stupid question. Obviously, he does not believe in DEI. Obviously, he's a capitalist that believes in a meritocracy. He believes in America. Thank you very much. America should not be all about DEI. No, no, no. We're the kind of country that you come to because you want to get away from all the trappings, right? We're the kind of country that rewards success, period, regardless of the color of your skin. That's what a real meritocracy is about. So this DEI stuff, it's already game over. I mean, look at all the universities that are getting rid of their DEI departments. Look at all the companies that are firing their heads of DEI. It is already game over for DEI. But this woman, this reporter, she's clinging to it, and she wants to somehow trap him into saying the only reason that Kamala is now running for president is because she checks a certain box. So apparently he felt that he couldn't say that. He kind of navigated in a different direction. I think he was trying to be somewhat tactful. So I'll just say it, okay? I think the only reason that she's on the ticket is because she checks a couple of boxes. That's it, okay? Because it's not like the woman is eloquent. It's not like she's got a history of, you know, bright ideas. It's not like she's actually gotten real legislation through. In fact, if anything, she is a total radical. We talked about this on yesterday's program.